sky was starry that night, and the moon was full, a sight you were so grateful to see. Although your back was pressed against the cold mist of morning dew on the grass beneath you, and the pain you were in was extreme, you were happy. There should have been a chill to the air, but it was disguised by thick black clouds of smoke billowing around you. You could hear the forest sounds faintly, but they were mostly overshadowed by the intense heating of car parts banging as the metal bends and buckles. You remember everything from both your time in the living world and your time amongst the chasers, although your fresh memories of your time in the latter realm made this moment feel like a once-forgotten dream. Turning your head to the side in the direction of the rising smoke, you still wonder how you managed to drag yourself from the burning wreck. You recall the glowing eyes of yet another being, this time not from the world beyond your own. The eyes of a deer reflecting the light of your approaching vehicle. Adding insult to injury, through the dancing sparks from the heat, you could see the culprit grazing on the outskirts of the forest beyond you. Sometimes your quick reflexes were a blessing, but in this situation, they were so close to causing your demise. As soon as the gentle and clueless creature wandered into your view from the side of the road, your instincts caused you to swerve to avoid it, sending you into the path of an oak tree. Before you managed to even consider veering out of the way a second time, the collision had already happened. You remember the sound of what you thought was water leaking into the car and dripping onto a metal surface. But as you spotted small sparks escaping through the gaps of the hood, you realised that your current state had just gotten a lot more dangerous. Although you were severely bruised and dazed, you surprisingly managed to unbuckle your seatbelt and throw open the door to roll yourself out. You could tell straight away that your left kneecap was completely shattered, meaning that your only option was to drag yourself as far away from the scene as possible to avoid further injury. When you finally got yourself to a safe distance, you collapsed onto your back, staring up at the sky as you felt a slight trickle of warmth drip down your face. Your initial thought was it being sweat from your exhaustion caused by the long crawl. However, when you raised your hand, you realised that it was in fact blood from your head colliding with something within the car. That was the last thing you could remember, before you were plunged into the unknown world, the world you would never soon forget. As the smoke proceeded to reach the tops of the trees and higher, you eventually heard sirens. They were muffled, but they were there, and heading your way. Returning your attention to the deep blue sky scattered with stars, you realised just how much you'd missed it. Even though in your world hardly any time had passed, your time amongst the chasers felt like an eternity. Although it was many years ago, you've never forgotten that night. You remember it like it was yesterday, and ever since you've wondered if you did in fact manage to escape that world. Or did the magic return and restore the Chaser's realm just as the Elder had explained it, a complete parallel of the world you know? You are fully aware of the being's abilities to manipulate memories and make you see what they want you to see. Who's to say you ever left?